Okay, you got a tray?
Yeah, it's all right here. Behind all these millions of wires.
Okay, so this segment is called How to Roll a Blunt. Now, I'm a bit of a professional blunt roller. I've been rolling blunts since 010.
010.
Since, actually, yeah, probably 22.
Something like that.
Yeah. Because I remember rolling blunts in 8th grade, but that's the soonest I could roll a blunt. And it was really sad, actually, because, like, I'm autistic and don't know it, right? And so, I'm going to start recording this now. But yeah, I'm autistic and I don't know it, right? It's on the wrong camera. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so I'm autistic and I don't know it. And I'm trying to learn how to socialize at school. And I was able to make friends in my last school, friends with Bradley, because I smoked weed. And we were both pretty weird kids. And so I would see Bradley alone. I would go hang out with him. And then we would smoke some weed. And then, I moved after my house got raided by the police. And I had no friends at that point. And I remember, like, the one thing I knew how to socialize with was weed. Which is obviously it's a pretty bad crutch. But at the same time,
especially at that age,
it's at 13,
not a good thing to rely on to make friends.
Yeah, and exactly. And I didn't realize this. I didn't realize that maybe the weed was detrimental because, of course, I didn't. I was a kid, so
it was blasphemous to even bring that up.
Yeah,
around us.
Yeah, exactly. To
even suggest there might be negative side effects to smoking weed
and to even imply that I would care, I was in a pretty bad household. Like the last house it just got raided by the police because my mom was falling out in her room because she's a drug addict, and my brother had a big party and it got busted. Well, one day I was like, okay, well, maybe if I bring a blunt to school, I'll be able to be like, hey, you want to smoke this with one of the kids? And we would smoke some weed together, and I would make a friend. And of course I rolled it, and then I went to school with it, and I was just like, what the fuck am I doing? Am I just gonna go up to someone and be like, hey, other kid who obviously seems normal compared to me, do you want to do drugs? Am I gonna be the character in your life that introduces you to drugs for the first time?
We did that.
Yeah, I know. And I sort of started to have that moment of awareness, and where I was just like, maybe this is wildly inappropriate. And so I didn't do it. And I never made friends. And then that house got raided, and I ended up back here. That's the end of that story.
Man, do you remember? I don't want to name names, but you remember? I can't even remember.
Yeah, don't name names.
I can't even remember his full name anyway. Yeah. But that kid in 7th grade that met up with us, I think he brought $10 to pitch in for weed, gave us the money. We got the weed, and then he freaked out, chickened out, and left. And then we just ended up. I do. I feel bad. That's one of the few stories I have felt bad about. Because this kid was a preacher's son. And so he was a super nerd.
Yeah.
Drew anime and
he wasn't exposed to anything. And we were straight up peer pressuring him into doing drugs.
Oh yeah. Come on, man.
Yeah,
come on.
It was
fun.
We were the kids that his church group had warned him about.
We were the kids in the books.
Yeah, exactly.
Drawings
that he was probably warned about by his dad, we were those kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it wasn't our fault. We didn't have people to teach us how to properly socialize.
Well, the thing is, it's a cycle when you're around older kids who are troublemakers and they introduce you to things that you shouldn't be introduced to at a young age.
Yeah.
You end up doing the same thing, not realizing that it's bad.
Yeah.
Because it's just kind of it's just what kids
there's
do.
Probably a bad kid somewhere along the line, but I don't think it was us. But also, we could have ruined that kid's life. So the way to roll a blunt is So this is a wrap, and next time on the show, I'll show you guys how to do it with a cigarello. But this is just a normal zigzag wrap. You can buy this at any convenience store. And all you gotta do is really fan it out like this. I have my weed grinded down. It's probably about 2.5 grams maybe. And I'm just gonna fill up the wrap very evenly as I can. It's sort of like preparing food, preparing a good weed smoking session. You know, if you don't do it right, it's just, like if you do it in a rush, you're gonna get what you want, but it's not gonna like be as good, you know. But if you're really patient and you do everything to the food that you know how to do, you get that toast really nice and golden brown, where the butter just barely, or in your case, oil, just barely got it to where
it's vegan butter.
No, okay, well, the vegan butter, which is just hydrogenated oil, where it gets that golden brown color on the edge of the bread, and it makes it taste good, you know, instead of just throwing it in the fucking toaster and being like, okay, when that pops up, it's done, you know. It's like properly salting the meat. And you get it in here to where it's just like that, just nice and fills up the blunt evenly. I like to keep a little here at the tail for the crutch. If you are unfamiliar with what a crutch is, you'll see in a moment. So then you come and you tighten it up. This is going to be in the corner. It's going to be called the blunt cam. I'm going to have it up in the corner. It'll be called blunt cam. It's going to be like a show that'll at the very least give us a little sense of satisfaction.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Like with my music.
I mean, that's really how we've approached our whole careers, and I don't regret it at all, you know, is enjoying it first and then I
think that's important because first of all, people can see through it if you don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's why, like, in the music industry, everybody says that, like, most of the shit they hear is trash. And there's a reason for it, because it's businessmen, not artists.
Yeah.
You know? When you like the art you're doing first, it doesn't matter to you if other people like it. Other people will like it because you like it. You know what I mean? Like, at least that's how I see it.
Yeah.
If I genuinely like a song I make, somebody out there has to like it.
Or at the very least, if you're having fun, someone else will be having fun. I mean, that's how like hate crimes work. You can have like wholesome fun and invite like good people. So the next thing you want to do after you get it nice and rolled up to where see, I got it rolled up with my 4 fingers from the front. Don't ever try to roll it from the back. So if you look at it, it's coming towards me. It's in a loop towards me like this. And you tighten the inside with your thumbs that last time. You don't want to squeeze it to where the blunt is actually getting perforations on it. That's how you know you're squeezing the weed too tight and it won't smoke. You just want to get it in the shape. And then you grab it in the center and tighten it along the center first, or it'll be pregnant. And once it's nice and even, level with itself, you give it a good lick. If you're afraid of licking your homie's spit, don't smoke weed. And there it is. That's it before being finished. Nice straight blunt. Okay, and then I like to take the front and I press it in from the side like that, and then the other side, and then I tip in the top and the bottom. This is how you know I've been smoking weed for far too long. And see? Now it's nice and...
Kind of like folding the end of a burrito.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
I do it the exact same way I fold burritos,
Yeah,
actually.
that's what I was imagining when you did that.
Yeah. So once it's all done at that end, you can give it a few good taps. And then you take your little plastic thing it came with, your little straw, and you pack in the bottom. Again, not too tight or it won't smoke. And you'll have to tear it apart and smoke it out of something else, which always fucking sucks. Okay, now the last thing I need is a crutch. What I normally will do is get a pack of cigarettes. If you take a pack of cigarettes and lift up the lid like so, there's a lip at the top here that comes out. You can then pull down from the top on that little lip, and it doesn't damage the cigarette pack. So you could use your mom's cigarettes, your daughter's cigarettes, your sister's cigarettes, your kids' cigarettes, roommate's cigarettes, and if you do it right, they won't even notice. You could just tip it in. Don't even tell them what you're using it for. Like, let it be a funny little thing. And then you have a little strip of card paper, right? Is that what it's really called? Because there's cardboard, but that's like, people mean corrugated cardboard when they say that, right?
Really thick paper.
Yeah, it's like, this is the paper that they would use to make cards, like cigarette packs and cards and card stock. I think that's what it's actually called.
Is it called that?
Yeah, card stock. But I don't know if it's called card stock if it's like off a cigarette pack. I think it might just be called card stock if it's for a card. Like if you have the piece of paper and it's meant for card making. But like the paper that cards are made out of is called card stock. So.
But it's basically the same shit.
Yeah, it's like this.
Yeah.
It's like thicker.
It's just really thick paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, and then we have a blunt. That easy. A whole blunt in 11 minutes and 7 seconds. Plus, you got a very traumatizing story from my teenagehood. Look at that. Thank you.